Hey guys, welcome to Tarot and Heal. Welcome to the place where we tarot and heal our way to self-love and unity consciousness. Alright, so this will be a pick a card. We're in October, so in the spirit of Halloween, I just figured we'd do something a little bit different as far as a pick a card. So what I'm going to do is in the theme of shadow energy. What does your shadow self want to tell you? Okay. Sometimes we don't want to look at our hidden selves or our shadow selves. It's just parts of us that are hidden, whether you consider it bad or good. It's just things that you might have tucked away because you don't want to look at it. Okay, it could be things that you are ashamed of, you know, but I feel like there is an importance in shadow work. The reason is so you can have more of an authentic way of being and showing up in the world. All right, I am like a firm believer in the shadow work and the need to integrate your darkness and your light and pulling from both sides when you need to. Okay, the spiritual journey is not all about, you know, just thinking positively. That can be an emotional or spiritual trap. It's actually called spiritual bypassing, right, where you are supposed to take a realistic approach, but you might take an airy fairy approach, right? There's a need to be grounded, and the way to be grounded is by taking from your dark and your light energy. But in order for you to embrace the gems of your dark side, which is something that I mentioned in that last Aries reading, the full moon in Aries reading, I'll pin that in the comments below. I mentioned the need to tap into your darker energy, okay, so that you can pull out the aggression when it's needed, okay, and know how to pull back when it's needed as well. All right. So this is a pick a card, 3 piles. Choose a pile. 1, 2, and 3. I'll definitely timestamp it. One thing I want to say, the benefits of integrating your dark and your light, all right, is something that I like to do a lot, all right? It's like, you know how people talk about tapping into your inner child, okay? Writing letters to your inner child, letting your inner child play. What did you like as a kid? And that might be another one that I'll do. If as a kid you like to draw, then set some time aside, you know, to take care and nurture that inner child by drawing and doing the things that your inner child likes. The same thing should apply to your shadow. This is my theory, okay? So if your shadow likes a certain type of thing, then you go and get that thing done, okay? Now, obviously, as long as it's not hurting other people, all right? For example, for me, it's just me and you, right? Okay. So for me, as far as my shadow energy, that's just for me. That would be me. I'm an erotica writer as well. Okay. So I do that. And that is a way for me to express these more darker energies, right? In a safe way. All right. So that's what it is there. Now, for me to integrate my dark and my light being this tarot reading energy, you know, this meditative energy and all that, I can combine the two. Then it could be sex magic, right? Okay, so that's an example. I can only use my example, but that's a way how you can balance your dark and light and find a balance. There's a gem there once you integrate it, but you have to stop being afraid of seeing it and looking at it. The quicker you put it right in front of you and just look at it, you know, the quicker you can integrate it and elevate. All right. All right. Off of my soapbox, let's get started. Y'all chose the number? All right. We're starting with 1. Group 1. All right. So we're starting off with Go With The Flow. Oh, actually, I have to start off with the Threads of Fate Oracle deck. This is a shadow edition. I have to use that, right? All right. I want to use a crystal deck too. I forgot. All right. So what does Group 1 shadow self want to tell them? What is a gem that they want to tell them? What is Group 1 supposed to learn from their shadow? Thank you. We have release. Release and patience. Okay? So some of you guys, you might be a bit hung up on This might just be a cycle for you. Needing to let go with the flow. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you guys might be holding on. Like, this is just a tendency that you have. You like to hold on to a result too much. Okay. Does it need to go more with the flow here? Because it actually is causing a blockage. It's like, let's say if you have your eyes on something and you see that it's the door's being closed. You guys might want to force things to happen. All right. Maybe you guys want things to happen in the way that you want it to happen, so on and so forth. All right. So you do have the Star card and the Two of Cups coming out. It might be triggered. Obviously, it'll be triggered by love, if nothing else. But it is triggered by things that you feel like you really want. But this, I feel like this level of impatience, or this desire to go for what you want, this desire, like, I have to have it. It's not stemming from, I think it's just stemming from I want what I want type of energy. Okay. Control issues. Okay. Two of Swords. It's sometimes there's stalemates, right? And there's a need to know when to walk away. So back to what I was saying in the beginning, where we have to know when to be aggressive and when to pull back. It seems like you guys have to learn how to pull back when needed, okay? Know when things are out of your hands, you know, and having that level of humility. What's the animal spirit? Oh, that was too much. What's the power animal for group 1? White Raven spirit, trust in the magic. There's a need to have more faith. It's like if you got an intuitive hit about something, you'd probably, you know, more than likely, you'd probably try to ignore it and try to do it on your own, or try to stick to whatever idea you have. There's a need to be more flexible. Okay, loosen the reins. Okay, we have Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold. All right, as well as the abundant universe will provide. So I feel like this is the energy that you guys carry. It's fearless, bold energy, or at least this go-getter, you know, just very focused energy. All right, but sometimes it's too laser sharp focused. Where now you're overthinking, you're strategizing, you're over-strategizing here instead of walking away from something. It's like stubborn energy that's stopping you from walking away when you should. Okay. Now, this will have you staying in situations with the Two of Cups in reverse. This will have you staying in situations that are no longer aligned with you. Some of you guys might be dealing with that right now. All right, let's get into it. Why not? Why is it Two of Cups here? Okay. Some of you guys, you might have a soulmate that you grew out of and you need to move on, right? You're growing out of something or someone, all right? And it's time for you to go for your own healing with the Star card here. But you're being stubborn and releasing it, all right? That's how your shadow's playing a role here. It's like if you feel confused, it's like you'll keep trying for this thing and you're like confused, like why isn't it working? I'm doing everything I can, and you're enforcing all this willpower, not realizing that you're like bumping your head against a brick wall right now. It's great to have that level of determination, of course. But it gets activated and it gets triggered. It becomes shadow energy. That fearless and bold energy is beautiful that you have, but it becomes a shadow energy when you can't pull back and trust that you need to let go or give up or surrender. Okay, when it's time to release. That go-getter energy sometimes needs to get turned off so you can just start floating. Stop swimming sometimes and just float and let the waves carry you. The waves being spirit, not just saying let go and whatever happens, c'est la vie. I'm saying there's a need for you to know when to go with the flow with spirit here. There does seem like there's some confusion happening. There's a breakthrough on the horizon. The only reason why you're confused is because you're overthinking something that you should already be doing. It's like you're just thinking about how many ways you can get through this brick wall using a toothpick. While spirit is saying you can't get through that brick wall. You have to leave. Walk away. All right? Some of you guys, that's the issue right now. All right. What is a Mike Angel? Mike Angel? Archangel Michael. What the fuck? I don't know. Archangel Michael prayer. All right. Lean on God. Yeah. Lean on God and your angels for support. There's a need for you to... every time like you get into... You have a roadblock. It's great to try to figure it out on your own. That's awesome. But sometimes it's a need. I feel like there's always a need to work smarter and not harder. And I feel like you guys take the harder route. If you trust your intuition, things could flow way easier. All right, we're good there. I'm going to pull from the romance angels. Oh, no. Gosh darn it. I wasn't prepared. See? All right. I'm pulling from the RebelDeck because I don't usually pull from this. And since we're doing this shadow energy, I'm going to pull out this a-hole deck. It's not the most PC deck in the world, but it's in a theme of shadow energy. Okay? This is finding light in your shadow. Okay? These cards are such, the tone and voice of it is such an a-hole approach, but it's funny, you know, so it's a need for you to just be lighthearted about, you know, just laugh at your demons, laugh at, this is who you are, okay, just, it's okay. The gem in this, oh, the gem in this is that you have the stick-to-itive nature. Okay, that's a gem. How can you use this in the best way instead of taking it into being shady? You know, some of you guys, you want something so bad, you're willing to cut corners, okay? You're trying to trick, but you know, some of you guys might go into deceptive mode, Decepticon mode because of it, and now it's time to grow out of that. All right? So we have you're being shady. Watch out, ish can get ugly. All right? So this is just saying, like, this is the stick-to-itiveness that you have is going into a shady energy because you refuse to let something go. All right. You're giving your power away, essentially. All right, cool. And moving on, group 2. That's quick and easy. Breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe. Oh man, if I do this live, this is gonna be awkward, right? You guys are just watching me clear up the freaking cards, whatever. Okay. Sorry guys. All right, let's go. Group 2. This is 2. All right. We're starting off with build on solid ground. All right, so what is a shadow for group 2? What does the shadow want to tell him? Movement. Power. Okay. I'm getting a very flighty energy with this. Okay. There's a need. Okay. With group 2, here's the energy I'm getting. Either this is an energy of flightiness, superficial energy, or just very top layer. Not be a little too, too scared to dive deep into things, whether it's diving deep into yourself or diving deep into your own emotions, whether it's diving deep into other people and really creating strong bonds, okay, things like that. It's like it never gets past the page energy, it seems. Now, this can apply to work, okay, where it's just like, the commitment phobe, okay. This can apply to work as far as being a job jumper, okay, or a relationship jumper if it's love, all right. Excuse me. And it's because of that someone isn't given enough energy into anything to really figure out what it is that they actually want. All right. It's like someone can easily quit. All right. And that is not, this person might be an easy manifester, right? Someone can easily draw things in. So they kind of squander it because they didn't have to really work hard for it. More, not saying you didn't, but just not as much as others, okay? There's a need to take life a bit more seriously and take yourself a little bit more seriously here. What is it that you want? That's going to be the source of your power. Whoever group 2 is, you guys are great at manifesting, okay? So if you focus your energy and not scatter it. So the shadow of this would be the gem that you have, the gift that you have is that you are a natural manifester. You can attract things pretty easily into your life. When it goes into a shadow land is you could draw it in and then just drop it, draw it in and drop it just for fun, you know, and not taking advantage of anything. So you're just scattering your energy and not being able to focus. Either that or you want too many things and that's scattering your energy and you can't draw anything in. One or the other there. It's a very flighty energy. There's a need to hunker down. The playful energy is needed to bring in the magic. And you already have that, but there's a need for you to learn from group 1. Group 1 is a little too serious and focused. You guys have to learn how to focus a little bit more so you can build a solid foundation for your desires and for what you actually want. It's like if you guys start projects, it never like really goes past the beginning stages. You might get bored easily. Okay. You don't want to deal with a burden. Okay. Some of you guys, yeah, it's a commitment issue because you don't want to deal with a burden. Look at that. The commitment card. The burden card. All right. Some of you guys, it does have to do with work. Whatever the case is, it's like it's a kind of a wild card energy, all right? You're always looking for the next opportunity or there's more fish in the sea, all right? That is the undercurrent of why you're moving in a certain way, all right? If things don't come into fruition, you're probably quitting right before it's about to pop, all right? Things like that. But the reason for it is because you feel like the responsibility is going to weigh you down. The responsibility of a commitment is going to weigh you down. But the thing is, if you figure out what it is that you actually do want, okay, writing down a list of what type of person you want, for example, but more importantly, what do you want in life? When you go for your career path, what exactly makes you happy? Once you learn what that looks like to actually follow things through, okay, it'll give you more strength and power and more courage to actually see more things through, okay? And it can still be fun. That's the part too. There's a need, it seems like there's a need for you to, you just don't want to feel hunkered down. But you can have fun if you're on the right path. if you're, the question that you should ask yourself is, if I don't have to get paid, I mean, if money wasn't an issue, what would I want to do? Okay, what would I enjoy doing for the rest of my life? You know, maybe start focusing on that. All right. If your goal is to actually, you know, if your goal is to actually make money and do what you love, who wouldn't want to do that, right? And then as far as love, there's a need for you to make fun a priority, sure, but then there's also important traits that someone needs to have too. But just don't underestimate the fact that, okay, I need someone who's adventurous and fun, you know, who likes this kind of thing. All right, so just know that that is a part of your personality, this fun-loving, light energy. All right, but it can cause you to be too free-flowing and free-spirited. There's a need to bring it down, to ground it a little bit. All right. Take more responsibility. Don't be afraid of responsibility. So, time for a deep dive. Take time out. Take time out to figure out what you want so that you can set up the life that you want. You can set up your life where it's like, oh, I enjoy what I do. You know, I do what I love. This job is perfect for me, all right? There's a need for you to get into that energy, all right? You can do that by setting affirmations. I do what I love, all right? I'm so happy to do what I love. And then allow that to come on in, all right? All right, so in the spirit of this shadow energy, I am using a Rebel deck. It is not the most PC deck in the world, but it is hilarious. Okay, the voice is very, it's kind of an asshole voice, but it's fun. Make better effing choices. If you are pissed at where you are, then stop taking yourself there. Yeah, there's a need to hold yourself more accountable. Be more responsible for your actions. It's like you're jumping around and not realizing that you're creating self-fulfilling prophecies, okay? It's like you're giving up before things are popping. And there's a need to be a bit more responsible, okay? And realize what you're the process of success. It does require going through the trenches, you know, the not so fun parts, you know, but ultimately it leads to a fun result. So maybe there's a need to practice delaying gratification, all right? Because I feel like that's what's happening. You just want things right then, right then and there. But that's not how life works. Nothing that's worth it, right? So, all right. Was there another one? Oh, Archangel Michael. What's the prayer? Guarded and protected. All right. See, that's the energy I'm getting from you guys. I feel like it's because of this. Okay, because you guys probably attract a lot. Let's say you jump from job to job, but on the flip side, it's because you attract job to job. You might have people like, oh yeah, I can hook you up with this, and you probably know a lot of people. You know, you probably have a whole network or whatever the case is. If it's not a network, then you have spirit that's like, you know, giving you the abundance. You're living in abundance because you're in this light-filled energy, but you're also throwing it away at the same time. And I feel like this being guarded and protected this is a gem, but it can go into a shadow because you're like, oh, I'll always bounce back. Oh, I'll always do this. Like, yeah, you'll always bounce back, but will you elevate to a higher point? So that's where you're at right now. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Group 3. Group 3, the cards are pretty straightforward. So we're starting off with Take the Lead, along with that World card and a Two of Cups and a Page of Swords. What's the shadow energy here? Yeah, Fate. So it seems like there's a new opportunity that's going to come through. It looks like a love is going to probably come through and trigger you a little bit. It might be something... It's an experience that might be a little bit out of the box, it seems. Okay, we do have Fate and the Outlaw coming out. Either that, if it's not a partner, then it's a path. It's your soul path, It's something. It's a soul mate or a soul path, but it's something that's very much aligned with you and your upgrade. All right. It seems like you guys are on track. All right. It's very straightforward, you guys. I feel like you guys are very grounded. You're centered. You're aligned. All these, you're aligned. Okay. There's just a need for you to have the courage to move forward. Page of Swords is a new mentality to have, okay? As you're elevating, there's just a new elevated way of being. Whatever it is that you're stepping into, you're meant to do it. All right? It is aligned with your path. What's the Page of Swords here? See, for some of you guys, whatever, if it's a person or if it's a thing, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just something that it makes your heart sing, okay? This person or this path makes your heart sing here, all right? I'm getting all this abundant energy with the heart and the flowers, even though this is a public card. All right. Whatever you were in the past, it's time to let go of that, okay? So that you can step into this new energy. If you're used to being in struggle mode, okay, if you're used to fighting for whatever you can get, now you're in abundant mode. There's a need to let go of struggle mode and live in abundance. Live in your abundance, all right? You're perfectly aligned. Spirit is just going to drop things into your life and just do what you have to do. Whatever you did to get to this point, keep doing it. That's it. The only struggle I'm seeing is maybe you might be taking old methods and bringing it into the new world, but I think you guys are good. All right. All right, so we have the mask coming out with a woman. All right, it's some type of cloudiness. All right. I feel like there's a misconception about this person, about who you are, all right? There's a mask here. I feel like this mask is like, if somebody, let's say if somebody won the lottery, this is a very simple example, but if somebody won the lottery, but they're still, still living in affordable housing, whatever, and they're just hoarding the money, it's just like, that's a bad example, but it's like there's abundance here, but there's still, someone's still moving like they're struggling. Now, it could be because they haven't seen the upgrade yet, but there's a need to just switch in the mindset of abundance so that you can attract it. All right. So that's what's happening. Get into the attitude of gratitude. That's it. You're good. All right. Let's see. What is the Archangel Michael prayer? Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. Yeah, there's some false mask here. Ooh. There might be some imposter syndrome happening here. Let's say if you went into struggle mode, you worked for something. Look at that, spider spirit. Make your dreams real. If you guys might go into, you guys worked for something. There's some major upgrade that's happening, and you might feel imposter syndrome. Okay, whether the upgrade is like you finally have this love that comes in, and you're like, you start questioning whether you deserve it or not because of your past experiences or your past energy. You're used to struggling. You're not used to things flowing in this way. Or if you finally make a certain amount of money, you're just like, do I even deserve this? Or if you get this promotion, now you have this level of power. It's like, should I be doing this? It's that. It's imposter syndrome here. Take the lead. Okay, if you're being led to elevate and take the lead in some way, there's a need to realize you are meant to do this. With the Fate card and the Outlaw, you are supposed to stand out and take the lead in whatever it is that you're being led to do. It is a reward here. It's this hard-working energy that's what got you here. Okay, you did the work. All right, and that is your gift. Now it goes into shadow because now you want to stay worker bee instead of queen bee, right? That's when it goes into shadow, where you want to stay where you are. You get comfortable with the struggle, with the work part of it, all right? This has very earth sign energy. It reminds me of, you know, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy, where it's just like, all right, I love working. And now you have to learn how to maybe outsource, okay? Or learn how to delegate and not be in the trenches as much, all right? It's time for you to get out of that mindset, that in the trenches mindset, and get more into a broader perspective, the bigger picture energy here with the World card. More of a worldly, broader sense of your life, okay? And how you can serve on a bigger platform with this Public card, okay? You might have a tight circle and there's a need for you to expand your circle, okay? Expand your influence. All right, let's go. Yeah, Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. You got it. You guys are all set there. All right, so I'm going to pull from the Rebel deck, though. In a theme of shadow energy, Rebel deck, this is not the most PC deck in the world. I had to say it, all right? Because it's cursing, but if you watch my channel, then you're cool with the cursing. But the tone is like kind of an asshole tone. But there's a need to make light. Okay. See, you look like a shit show. You're a hot mess. Fact. Clean yourself up. Yeah, this has very worker bee energy. You guys, because this has a very humble energy. And if you guys get elevated, you might not feel like you deserve it. Like you're just like, no, I just want to be the blue collar worker, stay behind the scenes, and, you know, just being very humble. But it is that humility that is going to elevate you. Okay, so there's a need to hold that crown gracefully. All right. You have a feeling you can't shake, that little voice inside of you. Listen to that shit. All right. This is whatever it is that you're being led to. Capricorn had this reading where it's just like, watch the throne. How are you going to carry this crown, you know? So whoever this is, you guys are getting an opportunity to elevate, and you might not be too willing to take the crown because you're used to working below your potential, below the radar, staying under the radar, and now you're being led to be more public. Okay. And now it's leading to this imposter syndrome here. Even though this is something that you're supposed to do. Fate. So you guys are meant to take the lead. You're fated to be a leader. All right. And then imposter syndrome. The humility is great. That's your gem. But the shadow is that it leads to you talking down to yourself. Negative self-talk. Where it's like, I don't deserve all of this. Okay? All right. All right, cool. Thank you so much, Group 3. I think we're all set here. I'm trying to think, should I do like a concluding message? I think we're good. All right, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. Add me on IG. That's Tower and Heal. Click the bell for the notifications, okay? I do personal readings. Check out the info box below. If you want to be an angel donor, check out the link below as well, the Patreon link. You get 10% off of your readings if you do. And yeah, thank you so much. And until we meet again, peace.